Thank you. Good afternoon. Distinguished Honorable Oversight, Fatoba, and honorable members, you are welcome to Radio Nigeria. My name is Dr. Mohammed Bulama, Director General, FRCN.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, DG. My name is Musu Shimaki, Director of Programs, FRCN.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, Director General. My name is Awal Mohammed, I'm Director of Abuja Operations.
Good afternoon, honorable Chairman. Good afternoon, honorable members. My name is Sandra Kiraboma, Director of
Honorable Chairman, distinguished members, my name is Husseina Akila MNI, Director News, FRCN.
Activity, some member will still join. Thank you. This is my remarks. DG, distinguished honorable colleagues, and other management directors that are here, it is with great pleasure I address this gathering today in fulfillment of the committee's mandate in Order 20 Rule 68 of the Standing Order of the House of Representatives, the 11th edition, which authorizes to oversight the Ministry of Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Law, and all the agencies under the ministry, and also as a shrine in sections 88, 89, and 128 and 129 of 1999 Constitution as amended. You are aware that since the beginning of this 10th Assembly, this will be the first oversight visit of the committee to the corporation, and in view of the fact that the 2025 budget has since been defended and passed into law, aware that the year 2026 is just a few months away, hence the need to see how the 2023, 2024 and 2025 budgets of the corporation has fared, and which is why this visit is necessary. Again, as earlier stated, that this will be the first visit of the committee in this assembly to the corporation. It will also be used as a familiarization visit in order to get acquainted with your activities, your modus operandi, your relationship with the ministry and other agencies, your achievements, challenges, and a possible way forward. Permit me to remind you that the principal duty of the committee is to ensure the smooth operation of the corporation, and which is through budgeting and oversight. Hence, at this meeting, the performance of your 2023, 2024 and 2025 budget will be looked into, which will influence the committee's decision at recommending what is appropriate for the year 2026. On this note, may I invite the Director General to address the committee by taking us through all your books so that we can be able to pass our own comments, know where the questions are needed to be asked. Thank you.
I want to seek the leave and permission of the chairman to address the committee seated because of the convenience of the public address system. Honorable Chairman and distinguished members of the House Committee on Information and National Orientation. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the headquarters of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, popularly known as Radio Nigeria. Your presence here today reaffirms your commitment to the growth and revitalization of the broadcast industry, and particularly the effective functioning of the nation's public service broadcaster. As I just said, Radio Nigeria is a public service broadcaster with a network of 6 zonal stations, 2 operational offices, 6 zonal stations in all the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, and zonal operations in Lagos and Abuja, and some 50 radio FM stations, and SW and MW operations especially in Kaduna at the moment. That is shortwave and medium wave. Permit me to give a brief report on the performance of FRCN's 2024-2025 budgets in the key areas of personnel, overhead, capital expenditure, and internally generated revenue as summarized below and contained in our submission. Mr. Chairman, I think there's a mix-up. So I did not include the 2023 budget performance in my speech, but that we can do it quickly as soon as we finish this meeting with Adi. So the table below, FRCN 2024-2025 budget performance summary. You can see the personnel cost for 2024 was slightly over 10 billion. Overhead was 258, capital 576.8, and internally generated revenue 1.756 billion. As for performance, the budget performance is as follows: personnel 100%, overhead 99%, capital 53%, internally generated revenue 62%. For 2025, personnel cost is 19.02 billion, overhead 370.9 million, capital 2.138 billion, and internally IGR 2.146 billion. The performance of the 2025 budget: personnel 60%, overhead 33%, capital 0%, internally generated revenue 35%. Personnel cost. FRCN continues to efficiently manage its personnel budget, which constitutes the bulk of its recurrent expenditure. In both the 2024 and 2025 fiscal years, releases from the federal government have ensured the regular payment of staff salaries and allowances. We remain grateful to the National Assembly for its continued support in this regard. Overhead cost. Despite prevailing economic challenges, overhead releases in 2024 and 2025 provision releases in the first half have assisted the corporation in maintaining core operational activities. However, the rising cost of energy, transmission, and maintenance have made it imperative for a review of overhead provisions to reflect current realities and sustain nationwide broadcasts. Capital projects. Under the 2024 budget, the FRCN has recorded modest but impactful progress. We have executed critical infrastructure upgrades, including rehabilitation and expansion of broadcast facilities, digitization of selected studios in Lagos, Enugu, and Kaduna, acquisition of digital recording equipment to enhance content production and coverage of national events, upgrade of solar system of some zonal and FM stations. These developments are a testament to our strategic use of limited capital funds to achieve far-reaching impact. Internally generated revenue. FRCN has intensified its IGR efforts through innovative programming, commercial content production, partnerships, and improved marketing strategies. We have recorded a steady growth in IGR in 2024 and 2025 projections, and 2025 projections remain optimistic. However, sustaining this growth trajectory will require support for equipment upgrades, staff training, and content diversification. Infrastructural development. In the last 2 years, FRCN has prioritized infrastructural renewal. Notable achievements include the installation of solar hybrid systems in some stations to reduce dependence on the national grid and generators, renovation of conference room and office accommodation at the headquarters, studio upgrades at zonal and FM stations, improvement in automation, digital archiving capacity for radio preservation, partnerships and collaborations. Also worthy of note is that in the last 1.5 years, FRCN, realizing its operational challenges, which are obsolete equipment and high cost of energy, and the fire disaster that destroyed one of Radio Nigeria's legacy stations in Lagos. As a matter of fact, two of our stations in Lagos, not one. I beg your pardon, Mr. Chairman. Radio 1 and Metro FM in Lagos Idikoyi. That was in November last year. Totally burnt down. The FRCN entered into strategic partnership with state governments such as Taraba, Borno, Ekiti, Jigawa, to mention a few, because there are a lot more states actually. And with some state governments and some institutions and organizations and embassies like Microsoft, Makoto Foundation, Simba Group, and so on and so forth. NNDC, NDDC, Northeast Development Commission. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, the MD of Northeast Development Commission called me to announce the good news that they are going to renovate and upgrade the facilities of our radio stations, the 7 or so radio stations we have, FM stations in the Northeast, and they've already awarded the contract. In fact, 2 contracts. He told me 2 contracts have been awarded for this activity for the Northeast. We have done the same with the NDDC. We are expecting them to let us know what they want to do. The same with the Nigerian Post Authority. Recently I had a meeting with the MD, and I think we are very, very hopeful that they will help us innovate and rebuild the stations in Lagos and also in Port Harcourt, and so on and so on. Neseni, Rural Electrification Agency, and so on and so forth. We've approached them, and we're having very productive talks with them, and I think the results will soon manifest. And then these collaborations have started yielding positive fruits, like the provision of solar power alternatives in Peace FM Maiduguri, thanks to the Borno State government, connections of Progress FM Ado Ekiti to the State Independent Power Plant, donation of operational vehicles to North Central Zone by USAID. As you know, USAID just wrapped up its activities, and when they were leaving, they gave us 2 SUVs. Another donation of a vehicle by the Benue State government to Harvest FM Makodi, and so on and so forth. In fact, the government of Niger State just asked us to proceed to Mina to also pick up the donation that they are giving to us. Organizations like the Northeast Development Commission, which I've already said, Niger Delta Development Commission, are all working in partnership with the FRCN towards improving broadcast services to every nook and cranny of Nigeria. FRCN took steps to deepen existing bilateral relations between Nigeria and China in furtherance of the diplomatic interests of Nigeria, in line with the agreement signed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. FRC. Sorry? Oh, the GCFR, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, and President Xi Jinping of China in 2024, Radio Nigeria and China Embassy Partnership to midwife the broadcast of a 30 minutes program, Ni Hao China, a program that teaches the Mandarin language on Radio Nigeria for the benefit of billions of Nigerians. Equally, as part of the partnership in human capital development of FRCN staff for training opportunities in China, which will inshallah start in 2026 with 5 journalists, programs, and other professionals. These developments underscore our commitment to transforming FRCN into a modern, efficient public service broadcaster. In conclusion, while we acknowledge that challenges remain, especially in funding inadequacy and technological modernization, we are confident that with your sustained oversight, advocacy, and legislative support, FRCN will continue to serve as a vital platform for national orientation, education, unity, and development. We sincerely thank you for this visit and look forward to your guidance and support. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, before the end of the week.
Before the end of the week, between tomorrow and next week.
DG and my name was indeed I continue different questions. DG, I want to say that even going through this document, more especially the idea, I believe most reason for conflict. I know you are operating in a competitive environment, and we know that we have a lot of private organizations, private radios that are doing well. This is a government establishment radio, which we believe is supposed to at least take control of the market in Nigeria. Actually, I want to ask you, what are you doing? What is your plan to ensure that this radio is being competing with the existing private radio? That's number one. Because if you accept some of these radio, all these private radios are self-funding and they are doing well. And this another organization, a radio that has been existing, that's supposed to be our bride in Nigeria, that has all the facilities. I think you should let us know what you are doing to compete well. If there's any assistance you need that the house can do to assist you, to enable you to compete well, so that you'll be able to generate, because you cannot tell us that you are generating 1.7 billion, you are proposing 1.7 billion, and you generated less than 1 billion for this radio, kind of radio. So that's number one. And number two, also, the documents, this document, Chairman, is not well arranged. Maybe, I believe it's not an attempt for us not to be able to get all this information. Why? Because we're supposed to have the summary, 2023, 2024, and propose 2025, so that we'll be able to benchmark. Like now, we are looking for the capital itself, the capital for 2024. I've been looking, I cannot even, it's not, we're supposed to have a summary page. If it is one page, that will give us the summary of every, it's not yet, some of all what the budget, what has been appropriated, what we have spent. And also, the idea also. Tell us the page, because I don't have
for the performance completion, I think.
The performance is supposed to go with the appropriation.
Yes, the summary.
What is going on?
Actually, everything is there.
Yes. So, it's about this idea. No, you said you are trying to improve your power, you are trying to. Honestly, I don't believe in you approaching. You can approach the state government, but that's supposed to be your own plan that you are planning to do to ensure that you'll be able to compete. Like the power you are talking about, you can decide to generate your own power by yourself. If there's anything, if you want to generate power, you get budget once, and what you do is just to maintain it. If you need the help, if you need any help from out, what we need to do for you, maybe in terms of budget provision for all this, your plan, you let us know so that when you bring your budget next time, because that's the essence of this program. When we know your performance, we know your needs, we'll be able to push for you to ensure that you have what is required for you to get to this level you want to get to. FRCN is supposed to be radio that all these private stations should at least envy. But now, how many you said that people are not listening to it? If it's not consistent, maybe today you have the station, tomorrow the station is not there. People will not. We have competition. Once we have alternative, people will not go there. So we need to make this radio. We need to make it competitive. And what do you need? I think you need to tell us. Thank you very much.
So,
Our compliance and
With respect of that,
ECA, NSF, your phone, what's your phone?
we federal government nobody understands. The budget number is 1%.
Abuja, 1%.
So the federal government and the minister of budget and
Okay. Mr. Chairman, you have made mention of some of your challenges. I want to know your SWOT vis-a-vis all these private devastation. Apart from that, another one I'm looking at how are you compliant or are you working towards AI or STI, or sort of STI and sort of science, technology, and innovation in your area of operation? That is
Thank you.
okay. We're working on collecting the receipt from the employers of
You generate, that is what you will include here. It's not just for you to write figures and numbers.
FRCN needs support because everybody wants to wake up in the morning, open your radio and listen to your radio because we believe this is our radio. And I think the chairman, you need to sit with the chairman, with the DJ, to know the area where we can support them. Also, I can see the money they remitted to the consolidated revenue fund. If they are trying to remit all this money and the radio is not, the station, the agency is not to the level we want that agency to get to. So maybe we need to support them to prove this point to the executive, whether they can reduce the percentage of what they remit to the federal government so that they will have enough fund to do one way. Because we are saying they should come up and there's no fund to do that. It means we are deceiving ourselves. That is not my suggestion to you, sir. Maybe we need to speak with the DG after. And secondly, Mr. DG, sir, we are aware that you did an auction recently. So we want to know what are the items that you have auctions and which locations that all these items are. And what did you generate from the auction? Because it's not yet. I don't know whether it's everything, maybe you can tell us the page where it is.
the process.
On your capitals, you see rehabilitation of broadcasting broadcast facilities, the locations and dimensions, then upgrade of the solar system of some sonar and FM stations. How many stations and where are the locations? Then installation of solar hybrid system in some stations to reduce dependence on the national grid and generators. Supposed to be mentioned. Renovations. Yeah. Then you made mention that there was a kind of disaster at Lagos Radio Nigerian Legacy Station. What was the cost of such a disaster?
The cost of
The cost.
the cost.
Cost of
The cost of the project.
Yes. Then the area of nominal road, my people have asked the question, so I want us to furnish the committee with the list. Then the remittances, then the receipts. I don't think you should take the DFA this long, because it should be ongoing concern of the team. As you are making the payment, then you get it done. Then going through your IGR, you propose and the actualization. To me, I can say I'm not well pleased. considering the economic situation and reality in this country now, we shouldn't be talking in the range of 1 billion for almost 50 stations so called across the whole country, where power and other stations made such within 2-3 months. Because the actualization was 958 million, 985.7 million. If we look at that with the 50 stations, so we are talking of 19.7 million stations per annum. So trickling it down to a month, you are having about 1.6 million per month. So I believe we can improve on this. This 2025, let there be significant increase in this area of performance. Then staff welfare also. I think that's one of the areas we needed to look at. I stumbled on one news by this is it PM news, this stuff. That has to do with one of these people. So we will see.
I can talk to that.
Discuss on that. And also, I believe if radio stations and television stations, all these media stations are not on special salary scale, I think it's something we can take up with the leadership of the House and send it till they needed to be done with that, because we do that. Because come rain, come sunshine, you are always there. To ensure that we disseminate information to the public. So, you are rendering an essential, so just like other people that are doing that, medical and police. And I think we need to give that kind of preferential treatment, different from that. So that is just that.
First of all, I would like to thank all the members of the committee and the chairman for your very good questions. In fact, we are pleased because it shows that you have a lot of, your disposition is that you are sympathizing with us. You can see that we are struggling, and you are there for us to assist us in tackling these problems. So I want to start now by addressing regarding the question of the IGR. I agree absolutely that with 50 stations we should be doing a lot better than we are doing. But I've already alluded to the problem we have with energy and also obsolete equipment. For me, yes, some of our equipment are obsolete, but I think the major challenge, like I said, is with power. Even with some of these obsolete equipment we can broadcast. We need to upgrade them. There's no question about it. We need to upscale them, but we need to solve the problem of power. And we can only do that realistically through renewable energy, which is solar. And solar is, upfront is very expensive. That's part of the challenge we have. Once we can solve the problem of power and obsolete equipment, I think 90% of the problem will have been solved. But another issue that affects our capacity to generate revenue is that sometimes sponsored programs that are paid for, they get disrupted because of the programs of the federal government, which we run free of charge. When programs of the government, because we are paid, we are bankrolled by the government. So when federal government programs come, we disrupt the programs for which payments have been made. So we face these challenges. And then related to that is the fact that many MDAs don't even pay us at all. They don't even pay us for services we have rendered. You know? Yes. I just signed a letter yesterday. The letter you sent to me. You know, an agency is owing us about, is it 100 and something million? Yeah, 100 plus. For the last 3 or 5 years, you know, even, you know, off record, even FRI of all people, you know, the Federal Inland Revenue Agency is owing us money. You know, people we thought would have no problem, you know, paying for the services we have rendered. And we can go on and on and on and list these agencies that are owing us, they are not paying us a kobo for services we have rendered over the years. So this is one of the major challenges, because they know we are government.
Therefore, we owe you duty of care. All those agencies owing you. Relate to the chairman. We'll make them pay within a short time. We recover money for federal government through public accountants, some of these outstanding committees. So all your outstanding, give us a total. And the agencies owing you. I can tell you, chairman, will use his office to make sure all your money are paid. That's what we're here for. We're to oversight you and make sure you are fine. Thank you, sir.
Immediately, you know, even off record again, even at the NDDC, you know, that we went to asking them to support us in the south zone, I mean in the Niger Delta zone. When I go to Port Harcourt, my director told me that NDDC is owing us 163 million naira. That's a lot of money for FRCN. If they can only pay us that money, you know, we'll be able to do a lot with it. So these examples, you know, they're all over the place. So this is part of the problem. So once we are able to tackle these problems, I think we will take up the challenge of generating billions of naira, and we'll be able to do it.
Is it planned in progress? Is it planned?
Yes, there is. As a matter of fact, at the beginning of this year, I submitted such proposal to the office of the budget of the Federation. We submitted a proposal of 32 billion naira. You know, 32 billion naira, most of it geared towards solving this problem of power and upgrading our facility equipment. So we have done that. You know, I can give the chairman this even today. We have it. You know, detailing out all our problems. Even that, FRCN can comfortably take 50 or 60 billion naira. Quite honestly. We even understated our problems when we submitted a bill of 32 billion. So we have done that, I can assure you, Honorable, and we are ready to bring this to the attention of the chairman of the committee. So that is with regards to our needs and areas of support that we require. We have done that. We can avail the committee of all this information. Nominal role, we have a nominal role that is ready. So no, not before you, but with the director of admin, because we had cause to submit one last year to the office of the head of service of the Federation, an updated one. So we will avail the committee. We will do that. Yes. ICT. Honorable, I can assure you that ICT, we have a department of ICT here. We also have a department of new media, which is totally reliant on ICT. So we invest a lot in that area, but that is not to suggest that we don't have issues or challenges there. You know, ICT equipment, they are very, very expensive. But since I came, the little we have invested in the provision of ICT materials like computers and so on and so forth, several. And some of our partners, for instance, Makoto Foundation, they gave us like 20 laptops. We distributed to their members. We got some money. We bought phones and tablets. You know, we distributed them. We are doing that. We are investing very important, because ICT, that's the future. Our new media department, we are not joking with it, because we know that Radio Nigeria has to attract younger people to its listenership and viewership now, because we now operate on multimedia platforms. We have platforms, we have handles, social media handles, and so on and so forth. So we know that ICT is very, very important. But we can do with better funding, even in that area. Like I told you, we are partnering with Microsoft. Microsoft has offered to train 20 people. In fact, they wrote, even yesterday, we should give them a list of 20 people that they will train. In AI, we got an expert in AI. And we trained a whole gamut of our staff from the highest level, the echelon, from directors to people in content in AI. Because we know that if we don't embrace AI, we are done. You know? And we devoted a whole program, the News Summit, which we held in Honorable home state of Taraba. The state government graciously partnered with us to do that program. And the focus, the theme was on AI. And we made it clear to our staff that if they don't embrace AI, they should forget their job. You know, AI is an enabler. It's either if you embrace it, it will facilitate your work. If you refuse to embrace it, it will kick you out of your job. And we have made that very clear to our staff, and we are doing everything possible to upgrade their skills and competence in that area. But we do have challenges of funding. There's no question about that. Budget performance evidence. For the 18th time, I want to apologize to the committee the way we arranged this document. But all these answers are there. I embedded here. We ought to have done better. You know, like maybe in juxtaposing, you know, appropriation and performance, you know, side by side. We didn't do that, but we will correct this and submit. But we have it, and we've shown evidence, like the Honorable asked, for instance, the 5 million. I think that one we spent it in renovating our transit camp. You know, we have a transit camp where our staff who have cost to spend the night here in the course of discharging their duty. You know, like a small hotel of our own. You know, so we spent the 5 million naira, you know, buying beds, fixing doors, and so on and so forth. You know, but the thing is that, as you can see from the performance of the budget, only about 50-something% of the budget has been released. So we are still expecting further releases from this budget. And that is why we are unable to pay some contractors to even continue, like our FM station in Bayelsa has been down for a very long time. We awarded a contract for the work in that station. Unfortunately, the contractor couldn't mobilize to site because the money was simply not paid to him. I know, and the monies are lodged in the office of the Accountant General. We don't even have access to it. You know, so we in fact had to look for, you know, like an innovative way of even looking to borrow from somewhere to fund that. Because I went to Yenagoa about 3 weeks ago, and I promised that in two months or so the session was going to come to life. You know, I didn't know that this problem was there. So now I have to do everything possible to make sure that whatever it takes, we get that station back on air. But the reality is that these funds have just not been released to us. So this is part of the problems we have. Details, yes, we have all the details of the number of projects and the areas where we did these contracts, but we will make them available to the committee. The cause of the fire in Lagos was, I think, electrical spark. You know, there was something, they were working in the studio. In fact, at around 7 o'clock or something like that, people were actually in the studio, the radio station one, and then suddenly there was a power break. You know, some of the electrical equipment, you know, just caught fire. You know, before they could mobilize the fire service, they did come. The military came, the state fire service came, but before they came, most of the place was burned down. In fact, the tragedy for us would have been our library, which is very, very, very rich, and which is right next to these two studios, the fire service was able to save the library, and this is a library whose materials date back to 1950 something. We are in the process of trying to archive them. We have entered into a partnership with a German university to archive this. A Nigerian company has also approached us. We have, this large collection of these materials in Lagos, Ibadan, Enugu, Kaduna, because these are the legacy stations. This is when radio started in Nigeria. So we are trying to archive this. We don't have the resources, but we've gotten a partner from that German university, and the Nigerian partner is also, we are talking with them to do that. So God so kind, the fire didn't extend to that place. So it's the equipment that got burned. We are already back on air, actually. Skeletally, we came up with skeletal studios, and we are already, both radio stations are already on air. But, I mean, it's very, very skeletal, the most basic of equipment. We just put them together. And like I said, we have approached the Nigerian Post Authority, and they have given a positive response that they will assist us in rebuilding those stations back. And then we have also approached the government of Lagos State. We have written the government of Lagos State. And then hopefully in the budget for next year, where there are any gaps, we will bring it to the attention of the committee so that action will be taken on that. So I think I have addressed all the areas that have been, issues that have been raised.
Thank you. Responding to our questions. Some questions come up, so let me just read them out. Fine. When you were giving us your submission, you actually make mention of some items being donated by some NGOs, some state governments, and the rest. Are these items being listed as part of your assets? Are they on the asset list?
Yes, they are. They are. Yes, they are.
So the committee would like to see that. Then, in course of introduction, one of our mother there actually introduced herself to be MD of Radio Nigeria Investment. So, can we have any document? Because I can go, when we are going through all these documents, even your IGR, I don't think we have anything that has to do with that. Honorable colleagues, did we notice anything of such?
It's 33. 2025 internally generated revenue. That's for 2025. There's also for 2024.
They are publicity.
They do.
In their projects. So the reason why they should be knowing you is what you can't understand. So I tell you, as my colleagues has rightly mentioned the other time, let us have the list of all these debtors. Then we'll go after them. We will write them, we will invite them to the committee. I call invite you. So let them come and tell us why they are not paying. They will now go through their budget and see if we see any publicity and media stuff. Then they will have to tell us whom they make such payment to. So please let us get that as soon as possible.
They came here, they owned up to the fact that they were owing us and said we should give them a discount of 50%. After a lengthy negotiation, we accepted to give them 30%. They said, okay, they will get back to us, they will pay. Wow. That's about a year ago.
They never give them discount. I know that the DG has jotted down all our requests, and I believe in due course we get those requests from them, and we are it will be on our agenda. Is there any other business or anything that any issue anybody want to raise, even among the management or members, or is there anything that DG will want the committee to be aware of? So in case of none, or can one of the members move for the adjournment of this?
Distinguished colleagues, the DG and management team, my name is Wade Finally as a business person. I represent the group people of Ilari Joe Figo and the broker consensus. I hereby move a motion that this meeting should be adjourned sooner than so move, Mr. Chairman.
Their videos and see some activities from them. But you can go and see.
The chairman, I have a second
This meeting is ever adjourned, Senator.
Yes. This fits.
Kind of ICT.
Yes, ICT. So it's a department of content. The content we put on our platforms, the ones responsible. From our website, which we are working on.
Twitter, Instagram, X, YouTube.
Yes, and then we have a station called Click Nigeria.
It's
The
an
focus
online
is for it's dedicated to young people. The studios on the ground floor, when we go there, they work together.
Very well.
Well done.
Exactly.
All right. On here. I'm calling the person. Yes. Program with guests. Yes. So if guests, if it's a program that requires guests, you guests will sit with them. What program?
Yes,
Yes.
the guest is by virtual.
Just music. And that's what we're trying to do in Lagos. Places like Fatoba, we have identified some stations. We call them star stations. In all the zones. Those ones we want them to put 24 hours. Like I said, the major challenge of course is energy, but at least in those places we hope that we should be able to give up.
People staying tuned to what we do.
10 p.m. And this is our niche, the net that other radio stations don't have. But we even have a few challenges with that. Like I said, the power issue. So otherwise, this is supposed to be, whatever is taking place in this studio is supposed to be transmitted across Nigeria. Including the but they say they prioritize the police, police headquarters.
Tell us what we need to do. That's because
the MD of I visit him every time I go to remind himself we should just be patient.
see studio, there's no AC. It's supposed to enter studio and you even want the cooling is supposed to be too much.
Some of them. But part of the problem we have here is there's nowhere we can put the outdoor this thing. And if it is not, is it NEPA that we cannot?
That should be selected.
Because this place, look at in the days of cool, when they take the villa, they will take radio.
Talk about enforcing technical standards.
Well done. James is not around. This is Click Nigeria, the youth-centric. Yes, the youth-centric station. It's online.
It's online radio station.
Yes. We're looking at equipment so that you can also see them on social media. Yes. And we want to replicate this.
This is more like this is a good one.
Yes, it is. We'll do it. Next time you come, you will. And we are looking to replicate this in all the zones, funds permitting. So maybe we'll start from Lagos and Kaduna or something like that, and we'll try to in all the zones of the country. To help us provide solar. Okay. Thank you. Zan tura maka